Hello and welcome back. We are in the unit, and today what we're going to be looking at doing is focus on the Bentley. The plan is to dechrome it today, and if we can get onto it as well today or tomorrow, we're also looking at doing some headlight and taillight tints as well. Right, to start with, we're going to look at dechroming the driver's side, so the chrome trim that flows around the window. And what we want to be really looking at doing before we do anything at all is prepping this as best we can. So using some cleaning product on there, nothing too aggressive, very washing up liquid is fine. Then putting some tack cloth on there, and then we'll be using this 3M dechroming tape. Everything I bought for this was from Star Vinyls, which is a UK-based company. Do some really good products on there. Got everything you need to do dechroming, headlight tints, wrapping, everything. So if you do want to check them out, I'll put their website in the link below. Okay, so starting that prep work now, I'm making sure them surfaces are nice and clean, and then it was a case of masking off all the chrome work. So what I wanted to do there is if I had to make any knife cuts, paintwork would be protected. Any slips or anything like that, you've got half a chance of not marking your panels. Once that's all been applied, then you can actually start with moving on to applying the dechroming tape. Now with this, I can't state highly enough how important it is to get a decent quality product. I've done it before with taillights, where I've bought a cheap taillight tint product, and it's horrendous to work with, and you end up throwing half of it away, doing the job out 3-4 times. Whereas if you get a decent product with that air release technology, then it's more than worth the money that you're going to pay extra on that, because ultimately you'll be spending less because you won't be chucking any away, and also you'll save a hell of a lot of time as well. Okay, so first attempt on this piece of chrome here, and might have messed up in terms of the actual width of the tape. So I went for the smaller width, thinking that it would have been enough, and it's literally, I've had no offcuts off the top or the bottom of this. So I've got quite lucky that that does cover all the chrome. Really impressed actually with this 3M tape. It's been really quite easy to apply. So a bit of heat here at the end just to help it stick. But no, it seems to have gone on really nice, and that is the easy one, straight one. Now I'm going to try and tackle some of these trim pieces here, which I'm hoping that the width of my tape actually covers this on the corners. But let's see how we get on. Right, so guys, I'm going to keep this as mostly time lapses. It's not really a how-to video. I just want to sort of show the transformation, show the process, and show that you don't have to be a professional to give this a go. If you've got the right product, you will be able to do this if you've got the time to do it, and most importantly, the patience as well. So that really awkward section, as some of you might have spotted here, is taped over. As I was dechroming the top and bottom section, I thought it'd be a good idea to lift that out slightly to get to the back of it so there's no chrome showing. Unfortunately, I managed to snap one of the fixings at the bottom. It basically, the adhesive for the clip to the chrome piece had come away, and that's just obviously because it's an older car now. So I ended up having to re-glue that, and then hence the tape over it while it's set. Just showing you on the passenger side now the before process, so all prepped on this side. Couldn't give you a full finished article on the other side at this point because I'd have to tape over that section. And luckily I had Paige with me here. She helped out loads in doing this, and it's always really handy to have a second pair of hands basically, especially when you're doing things like this really awkward bit on the corner. So she was applying some of the heat whilst I was sticking down the adhesive just to give it that extra stretch so I could pull and wrap it round that corner. And that then meant as well, with me getting the narrower tape, that I was still getting the coverage that I needed, so there was no chrome on show. And with that heat, it was really, really good to see how you could basically just work this dechroming tape around at these sorts of angles. It surprised me a hell of a lot. I was expecting to have to use a actual wrap for this section and cut a piece out of it. But yeah, really, really impressed again, as I've already said, with this 3M tape. To be able to do an angle this tight in one piece, I was really, really impressed. And that's me doing it as well. I'm by no means a professional. This was my first time ever using this dechroming tape. So yeah, if I can do it, I'd definitely say you guys can do it. that was the finished result. So really happy with how this went. Again, just taking the time, and that's all I'd say to anyone. As long as you've got the right stuff, prep it correctly, take your time with it, be patient, and you should have no problems whatsoever. And that was day one complete. Long day, but we've got a lot of the chrome work dechromed and it was looking fantastic. Just a quick one, guys, before we continue. Really appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe. It's free to do and really helps the channel to grow. Thanks, guys. Now let's get back to it. Right, so finished up yesterday and got quite a bit done on the Bentley, but it's round 2 today. And we'll be focused on today is the front end, potentially as well, tail lights on the car. But what we've got so far done is all the chrome work on the sides, both sides, now complete. It's a good few hours put into that yesterday. And then, as I say, hopefully today we'll get the car certainly dechromed. And then we'll look at maybe moving on to some of the badging and sort of tinting the badging. For instance, the front Bentley badge here and the rear one, we're going to put like a dark tint on there and hopefully it'll come up like a bit of a brushed aluminium effect is what I've got in my head. Chrome work wise, we've got the rings around the headlights. Also going to have a look at trying to polish up the headlight glass, and then just the outer chrome and your middle bar on the actual grille itself. And then going on to the indicator lights on the wing mirror, they're going to be blacked out. And then also coming to the back, we'd be looking at essentially blacking out the tail lights, the registration lights, the Bentley badge, to give it that sort of brushed aluminium look. But yeah, other than that, we'll crack on with it. So what I'd like to say as well, with the 3M tape, so far, in terms of installation, I've been really impressed with it. I've kind of picked it up reasonably quick, and I'd say to actually be able to do this piece in that tape, I was very surprised. So obviously I've had that on both sides to do, and it's come up really well. Just putting some heat there and sort of stretching the tape to come round. So that was the hardest section to do, and then obviously the rest of it is pretty much straight lines. Once you can do that corner at the back end, this is no problem at all here. And then as well at the bottom end here, you've got all your side pieces, your side trims. But yeah, definitely would recommend the 3M tape for the price you pay for it. I think about £22-25, whatever it is. Fantastic product for that, and would probably have enough to do this car twice over as well with one roll of that. So again, great value for money and just a great product as well. Right, so moving on to the headlights, and obviously we're looking to clean these lenses initially. I'm going to try and polish them off and try and get rid of some of these scratches and scrapes from sort of stone chips. So plan of action is first to get this chrome surround off on both of these so I can get better access to polishing the lens. And I'll probably, to be honest, in terms of wrapping these, I'll probably put them back in to wrap them. It's sometimes, believe it or not, a lot easier to do wrap on these types of things when they're actually in place, because then you know where you can cut and where the fold areas are. So with the rings themselves, it's as simple as you've got little tabs there. So you want to be finding where they are, and literally just with a bit of a clip removal tool, getting in behind there and just easing them out. It's as simple as that. And now I'll retape this bottom section here, but I've got access to all of this section here now. So for polishing this up, a lot better access and no risk of sort of damaging anything like these, because with the dechrome tape, the best thing about it is if you wish to go back to the chrome, it's as easy as just applying some heat, removing the tape, and we can basically put the full car back to standard. It's to Paige's taste this, and it's to my taste to block it all out, but it's not to everybody, so we do want to have the ability to remove it should we sell this car on in the future and someone prefer it in the chrome aesthetics. Okay, so I've gone ahead and started polishing up this. I thought I'd give one a go before I filmed it. What I've ended up using, I've got my polisher, which on this one, it's a bit large for headlights. I didn't buy it for polishing headlights, to be honest. I bought it for doing a car, which I've not yet done. But essentially using the Meguiar's corrective compound as a cutting product with a cutting pad, and then moving on to the finishing wax, and again Meguiar's product, and then with a polishing pad. And this is the first time I've ever done it. Looking at the results there, massive difference. And I mean, the headlights weren't horrendous on this by any means, but already there you can see the difference with the left hand side light being done, the right hand side you can see how foggy that was there. There are a few sort of imperfections if you go up and close. Don't even know whether the camera will pick them up. There you go, just about, which are like deeper cuts into the glass, and it looks like some of that's behind the actual glass as well, so obviously can't get to them. But what we're going to be doing is doing this across all 4 of the lights, and then we'll be putting a tint on these headlights as well. So what I'll do now is, now I've got a success with that one, I'll film doing the work on this next light and show you the process. So this was another one of those jobs where it's the first time I've ever done this. I've never even used a polishing tool before, never mind polishing headlights. So I was really impressed with how well these headlights came out. It was literally as simple as doing one pass over with the cutting compound and then one pass over with the polishing compound. A really easy and fast job to do that makes a massive difference to the appearance of the car. So it's certainly something going forward that I'll do on any older car when they do get that fogging of the lenses, and even if there's any slight scratches, surface scratches, it's really good at getting those out as well. And just showing you here the difference between the side that was done and the side that's yet to be done, and it's clear as day. Massive improvement. Okay, so headlights now done in terms of polishing them up, and as I say, next step is we're going to tint these headlights. Going to do them in I think it's a medium smoke, and then once that's done, we'll put the chrome trims on and black them out as well. Okay, so it's actually dark smoke that we're going to be using on these headlights. So it's a brand called APA. Gone for those. They've got the active technology of those hexagon air bubbles, so it should be easy enough to apply, but we'll soon find out. This is apparently their improved version. Okay, so because these are kind of set in on the Bentley into the sort of wing and front bumper, I just found it really hard then to try and sink the tint into these to get it to attach and look right without creasing it or anything like that. So I've come up with basically creating a template. So what I'm going to do is take the backing off, try my best to get it into position without sort of sticking down, and then essentially I should be able to get it behind there, filled on, and then it's basically a flat surface, so it should go on quite nicely. So yeah, I'll try that now and see how I get on. So light tinting is something that I actually have done before, so I should be a lot better at this than I actually am. But I would say with Bentley and these lights being sort of inside the front bumper and inside the wing, it did make it really difficult. So there's a few attempts at it, eventually got there, and then from then on, once I got my eye in with it and how I needed to do it, I managed to get the rest of the lights done on the first attempt, essentially on those ones. And I'd say another good product that I've used in this video that I desperately recommend. So if you do want to get any light tints, APA is a really good, well priced and easy to use product. Right, so the elephant in the room, when it goes to the shade that we've actually picked, it was a choice of Paige's this, to go for a darker headlight tint. I personally would have either gone for no tint at all or a very light one on the front, but ultimately it's her car, so it was her choice. So I'd like to know what your opinion is of this. Do you guys think this is too dark a tint, or Do you agree with Paige? Is it something that you guys would do yourselves? And stick around to the end of the video where you'll see the full transformation. Let me know in the comments below what your opinions are on each of the elements of it as well. Do you guys agree and think that the headlight tints are a good way to go? What about the tail light tints and also the dechroming? Would you be brave enough to do it all, or would you just do one of the elements? And I'd be really interested to know as well, by the end of the video when you've seen the finished car, has your opinion changed? Do you think it's an improvement, or do you think we just ruined a Bentley? Okay, so front grille dechromed, and I think it really complements the car, the gloss black around the outside, but keeping that chrome in the centre. It's almost like a shadow chrome anyway on this Bentley. I don't know whether that is standard or whether that is just on the Speed Edition that it is that. After finishing the front grille, it was next onto the bezels around the headlights, and I initially, as I said, thought this would be easier with them on, but as I started, I soon found out that no, that wasn't going to be the case. It was far easier to actually just pull these off and do them off the car. So pop them off and basically wrap them and then put them back onto the car once it was done. And with that complete, it was the first sort of view that we got of a finished article, or near as a finished article. So it was really exciting for me and Paige. She was really happy with what had been done so far. And I think you'll agree, even if it's not to your taste, it certainly looks meaner. Right, moving on to the taillights now, and I'll show you those in the current state. So obviously very red, and we're going for an ultra black on this, so these will be seriously dark once complete. So it'll be interesting to see the contrast between the grey and sort of the gloss black tinted tail lights on there here. You should also make it look a little bit sleeker. Fit it all on. This should be a lot easier than the headlights were. And then once I've done that, we'll see the end result. So it's back to prepping the lights, and same process again as the headlights really. It was a hell of a lot easier doing the taillights. As I say, this would be your standard sort of light that you do on any car, whether it's taillights or headlights. There's no sort of sunken in light as such like there was on the front. So yeah, it's just making sure that you're getting all those creases out. With that air release technology, it makes it a lot easier. And then just not being shy as well to apply heat, stretch it, and basically peel back, put back on to get them air bubbles out. And again, patience and just taking your time with this is the best thing you can do. Right, so there we have it. We've got the ultra dark tint on the back tail light here now. And just to show you on the other side where we've not yet put that in place, massive difference there now. So with the car, as I say, being grey, I think it would have been too much this if the car was black, but the car being in like a dark, deep grey, metallic, it really works quite well actually. And obviously, against all the chrome work that we've now blacked out as well, it's coming together really nice. Okay, so what I'm finding with this film is that if you don't actually take the protective layer off, you've not got the flex that you need to actually apply this. So I don't know whether that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to take this off anyway as you apply. I'm not anyone who does this as a living or as a professional, but yeah, that keeping that on, you end up with crinkles and creases where it's obviously not got the flexibility that the actual tint wrap has. So just taking that off straight away, you've got a bit more movement there. You can stretch it more, and that's even before applying any heat there. So just working it round. If you're going to do this as well, making sure you've got the right tools to do it. So really important to have the application tool with the actual material on the edge there, because that stops you from actually damaging the tint or the wrap, the film, whatever it is that you're applying. And then a decent heat gun that you can work with, and then it's just working it round, trying to take any air bubbles out to the side, And then when you've got corners and things like this, it's just most likely going to need some heat, but sometimes you can get it without. And there you go, it's not too bad. As I say, by no means a professional. If you do want to see how to do it properly, do check out another video of someone else who's actually in the trade of doing this. There's plenty on YouTube. Main point of this video is just showing the transformation and showing that if you buy the right little bits and bobs, so these kind of tools and decent material, because there's a massive difference between the tints, between the wraps, in terms of quality, and makes a massive difference, because I've done it before with tail lights where I've wrapped them, I've used a cheap tint, and it's been horrendous. I've had to do like 3 or 4 goes before I've had a decent result, whereas these, I've done both these back ones at least first time. I think there's only one on the front end where we actually had an issue with it and had to have a second attempt at that, but other than that everything's gone on really well. So yeah, APA wrap, and it's their improved wrap apparently. So yeah, I'd definitely say this is a decent enough wrap for you to do it yourself. So what I'll do, I'll crack on with this now, and yeah, well, next thing I'll probably be showing is the finished result. We'll get the car out of the workshop, and it might even be tomorrow when it's in daylight that I'll get a decent sort of shot of around from all aspects to show what we've done, and then we'll also show a contrast from before in terms of when it was in its original state. And the great thing about all this is obviously it's reversible. So as I said at the start, if we do sell it on, or if we do, or well, should I say, if Paige changes her mind in how she wants it and she wants a bit of chrome back, or wants to go back to the standard lighting or a lighter smoke tint on any of the bits, then it's as easy as just applying some heat and peeling it off and you're done. So that's the great thing about these kind of mods. They are something you can do yourself relatively cheaply. I think with the bits of tools and with the tints and the dechrome tape, it's maybe been £100. So to do a full car for that, I mean, I don't know what they charge you at the workshop, but I'd imagine it would be quite a bit of money. But yeah, if you've got the time to do it and you've got that sort of ability to sort of crack on with things like this, and you don't shy away from them, you'll be fine. It's not the hardest of jobs. It just takes time, and just be patient with it. So yeah, other than that, I'll see you with the finished results. Okay, so just finished up on the Bentley. Day 2 this was, so cut 2 full days really of basically blacking the car out. 2 Paige's preference. I was a bit doubtful at some of the things initially, but I definitely approve. This is going to be very controversial for everyone watching. A lot of people would have preferred the chrome, or wouldn't like the way we've gone with the headlights and taillights, as well as the dechroming of the trim. But I think it looks fantastic now. So I'll show you the result. This is the end result. So we've got all the chrome work on the front end blacked, as I say, a heavy tint, so a black tint to the headlights as well. And then going around to the side, one thing that's been left chrome is the speed badge. Everything else, chrome trim wise, has gone to black, and that includes the wing mirror indicators as well. Going back to the front, what we've gone for is the headlight tint. So the black headlight tint we've actually gone for on the Bentley badge as well, so that's like dechromed, but it looks almost like a brushed steel now. So I really like that look of that, and we've done that front and back as well. So I'm just shooting round to the back, and the tail lights as well have been done, and as I say, the Bentley badge there as well. So yeah, looks really mean, really imposing, and a bit more modern as well, I'd say. But yeah, so that's done for the Bentley for now. Additionally, what we will be doing is getting the windows tinted as well. So certainly the back windows, because it is quite dark in here, you can't really tell that they're not tinted, to be honest with you. But the back window and the two back side windows, as well as probably a light, very light tint on the side windows themselves. And then that should help just to sort of complement the rest of the car, as well as giving a bit of privacy and getting rid of some of the sun, the heat from the sun. Coming around to the back, as we shown earlier as well, the license plate lights are now also blacked. So you've just got some nice subtle bits of chrome still on there, exhaust, speed badge, chrome around the wing mirrors. But yeah, really tastefully done, in my opinion. And this is the finished result. This is Paige's Bentley Continental GT Speed Edition. Our take on a modernised look, what could be considered a shadow edition or black edition. It's come out absolutely fantastic. Looks really, really good. Sits really well as well. This being the Speed Edition, it does sit 10mm lower than standard. And yeah, very happy. Paige was really happy as well with the results in this. So yeah, I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are on it. How do you think it's come out? And have you changed your opinion as well? And drop us a like and a comment below to let us know. So yeah, as I say, that's it from this. Thank you very much for watching. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, it really help. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one.